we have our char and coke. The second part of our experiment is to basically find out the quantity of char and coke, and we do that by basically putting our char and coke into this thing is called a crucible. We load our char and coke into this crucible, and once we have loaded that, we put it into this machine called STA machine, and we set it to a particular program and we let it run for a while.
Go.
Hi again, so this is our second part of the experiment. Before we actually measure our crucible, the first thing that we have to do is we have to get a paraffin foil, put it inside, and measure it and make sure that we tare it. So as you can see, our initial readings are 0.000 grams.
Go.
So previously in our experiment, I made an error in which I said this was a paraffin, but actually this is just a weighing paper. This is a paraffin. So in our experiment, we actually use this weighing paper for today's experiment. So I just want to correct myself.
Go.
Alright. So now I am putting our crucible inside it, and I'm going to close this. And we're going to basically record the mass of the crucible, and then we're going to add char and coke. What I'm doing is
Go.
Now what I'm doing is I'm adding some char into here, and then we're going to basically combine our carbon and char and put it into the crucible. Okay, so now what we're doing is, this is my fellow Shu Chang, and he's actually going to mix this char and coke into this crucible over here. So I'll let Shu Chang do that. So this is our next part of our experiment. In this part, we use this machine. It's called the TGA machine. We load our crucible into it, and then we basically set the program to our criteria, and it runs it, and then we look at the data. So as you can see, Shu Chang is actually closing the device, and as soon as he does that, we're actually going to set our program. So right now we're setting up the program. We're actually deciding the temperature rate for the TGA, and once we're done, we'll actually start the experiment. As soon as Shu Chang press tears, we're actually going to start the experiment, and we're going to start the furnace. As you can see, the furnace has started. You can hear from the noise, and the temperature will go up depending on the rate that we selected. So now you can see that the temperature is going to increase to 120 Celsius to remove the moisture. Then eventually it will go up to all the way up to 1400 Celsius and then come back down. In order for the temperature to go up and down, it would approximately take about 5 hours and 4 minutes. So we have to wait for 5 hours, and then we'll get our results.
Ready?
Yep.
Go.
Alright, so now we have our results after 5 hours of waiting, a long time. The first curve represents basically the char reacting with carbon dioxide, that's this. Then the second drama represents the coke reacting with carbon dioxide. Basically, we're going to do several experiments similar to this. Then we're going to basically make a model using this types of graphs, which will represent the quantity of char and coke, and we're going to use that.